This is the K95.3 Sports Show podcast, brought to you by The Fan Zone in Wilmer's Candy Mall.
Welcome to the K95.3 Sports Show podcast. My name is Beau. I am your host. If you enjoy what you hear, please hit the thumbs up button for this video. Comment below if you agree with us, disagree with us. And also please subscribe so you can check out each weekly episode. If you are on your cell phone, if you hit the bell button next to the subscribe button, that'll actually give you push notifications to your phone every week when the new episode drops Wednesday morning. As I said, thank you to the Fan Zone also for sponsoring us. We appreciate you guys doing that. And also be happy to announce that I have worked out a deal with the Wilmer Stingers that we will be doing what we are going to call the Stinger Spotlight. So every week during the regular season, we will be spotlighting a different player on the team. So it'll be about anywhere from a 5 to 10 minute interview here on the podcast. So it'll also have the week of their season opener, we will have a preview to their season, and after their season is over, we'll also have a review of the season. So, and in between there, like I said, we'll have interviews with a variety of different players and some coaches, and maybe even some alumni from the Stingers that might be in Major League Baseball currently. We'll see if they can get one of those to call in and talk to me. So either way, it's going to be a fun promotion to do with the Stingers. So please make sure if you love baseball that you check back on that. And if you follow the Stingers, to please check out on that when those start up. I believe the first one is Memorial Day weekend, or the week of Memorial Day. Let's jump into the show here and get into the guests. If you listened to the last show, you heard that Tim was coming back here. So Tim Myring, welcome back, sir.
Thanks for having me.
All right, awesome. And then we have Jeremy Goulet, our front office, step back in to talk some more Twins with us. How's it going, Jeremy?
Pretty good. Happy to be the utility man, as always.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody can't make it. Can you come in?
Yeah, exactly. That's
what you're here for, man.
Yeah, exactly. So we've gone now 2 weeks talking Vikings for draft, which we knew was coming up here with April, but here we are now, finally to have a chance to talk about the red-hot first place Minnesota Twins.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, when we 3 weeks ago, when we left talking about the Twins, we talked about, are they going to be able to sustain this? Are they going to be able to continue to do what they were doing? Because we're like, oh, geez, look at this gauntlet of games. They have the Astros, the Yankees, they have the Blue Jays again. And so it was a tough schedule coming up, and they did it. They went through. I saw on the telecast last night that they are 9-2 after a loss.
Right.
So
which is very not Twins-like.
Yeah.
What you saw with Molitor, it was like, all right, let's lose 5 in a row, and then we'll win 6 in a row.
Yeah.
That's a lot of momentum, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that is a huge stat, and that's great to see. And, of course, they won last night, so I think that jumped them up to 10-2 then, I believe. And so a lot of their success is from the starting pitching, I would say, overachieving, to say the least. And I had just got done baking a big old plate of crow for
I told you guys
Tim.
all along, I said Martin Perez is going to be the next Johan Santana. You guys all doubted me. Yeah, right. I wish. Hey, man, pleasant surprise, though, huh, guys? What do you guys think? I mean, I'm not going to compare him to Santana by any means, but that new cutter, they said that he learned a cutter from Jake Odorizzi, who we're also going to touch on here, I'm sure.
Yep.
But, man, how fun is this, watching this guy pitch?
It was fun. I watched most of the game last night. He had a couple. If you take away his couple of stints in the bullpen in his 5 starts, he has a 1.64 ERA.
What?
Wow.
Oh, I did not know that. Wow.
That's 33 innings, 6 earned runs.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
He's meant to start, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, and like I said, don't beat yourself up too hard. I mean, everybody was on your side on that, Tim. I mean, nobody was like, ooh, Martin Perez.
Right.
Yay.
Yep.
There, mark it down, 5-0, 1.64 ERA starting.
And I listened back, and I actually had I said that Odorizzi wasn't too great either. I'm like, he's not. I'm not saying he's like really good, amazing pitcher, but he's been a lot better than I thought he'd be so far.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, Odorizzi was a few years ago. He was solid.
He's respectable.
I remember him in fantasy.
Yeah. Then he just kind of had, just like some of those pitchers sometimes, it's like they get something in their head and they just fall off for a few years where it's like, what happened to you? You weren't, like, horrible, and now you're just like, oh, wow, he's in there. How many? 8 earned runs? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I mean, overall, you take a look, because back in 2015, Odorizzi was 9-9, 3.35 ERA. 10-6 is with Tampa Bay, by the way. 10-6 with a 3.69 ERA. Jumped up to 4.14 his last year in 2017. He was still 10-8.
Mm-hmm.
But then he dropped to 4.49 and 7-10 against us. He was very, up and down last year. But this year he's got 2.78 ERA, 4 wins,
4 straight wins,
2 losses, yes, and I believe he also has not given up a run his last 2.
Right.
His last 2 games.
No
earned runs his last 2, just like Perez.
Right.
Also has not over his last couple of games, but I mean he's hardly been getting off many. But I mean, when we talked at the beginning of the season, we knew that the offense was going to be there just because some of the bats. You knew Cruz was going to do what he's doing.
Right.
And actually, I think Cruz has done a little better. I didn't expect him to be batting 304.
He's not a 300 hitter.
Yeah,
I expected it like 260-ish.
Yeah, I figured 260,
And
265.
we were all going to be okay with that.
Yeah,
we?
totally.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we figured the bombs would come with it.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got his 7 bombs and he's batting 304. So
Wow.
we knew Cruz would be solid. I would say overall Gonzalez has been a little slow, but
He's been the last week. He's really.
he's been picking it up. Yeah,
Right.
he's a notorious slow starter.
Yeah,
So-
I saw that. I didn't know that he was so big. They said 2016 he started out like 4 for like 47. I had no idea he was that bad. Yeah.
Oh,
so
jeez.
Wow.
he's a really slow starter. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be great the rest of the year, but he's been playing a lot better the last week.
Yep. And speaking of players that have been picking up, Scope has been picking it up.
Yeah.
And he's fun. He's a good fielder too. I
Oh.
mean, I like watching him play. So
Yeah. No. So I mean, he's up to 290 now. I mean, he was in the lower 200s a couple of weeks
is he
ago.
hitting 290? Oh my goodness!
290
I did not
now.
realize that.
5 home runs, 10 doubles. 19 runs scored. So you've got those guys. Once again, those are the 3. And Crone too. I mentioned Crone. I mean, he's doing. He's at 206, but he gets the occasional home run.
And he's right now. I'm like honestly, I don't think how much you guys watch, but his fielding has been incredible.
Yes, I agree. I have been
like he picks everything out. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Doug Mankiewicz, the way he stretches out and gets those anything that's on the ground he gets. I would like Marwin Gonzalez and Polanco. Some of those throws they make are horrible, and then Chrome makes them look like they're it's good.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run of the mill.
Yeah. And it's so who would you say? So I think you would say Martin Perez is probably your biggest surprise.
I mean, for pitching for sure.
Just overall, say hitting, pitching. If you're the most surprised, who would you say is your most surprised?
I mean, you gotta go Perez. I mean, I'd have to go Perez. I didn't think right now. I think they gotta be 0-5, not 5-0.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that stat you said about his starting ERA with 1 point. Are you kidding me right now? That's crazy. I did not know he was that great. And when you think about it, he's got all this momentum right now. Like you said, the last 2 starts he's been playing really well, and he's just. And he also has a really good fielding pitcher too. Like if you guys said that or not, but he fields his position well as well. I mean, it's really fun. And the cool thing is, they said that he learned that cutter from Odorizzi, and he learned some fundamentals on the mound from Gibson. Gibson's well known as one of the best fielding pitchers in the game.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool that our pitchers really help each other out.
Yep. And I know Santana was working with Perez also in spring training. He hasn't been using the changeup much, but I know he was talking to him about the changeup. But who would you say would be most surprising there, Jeremy?
Honestly, I would probably have to go with Perez too, because I actually got a chance on Saturday for first time in a long time to actually sit down and watch the Twins game, and I mean, he just looked lights out against the Yankees, and at New York, I was like, he just looked very like he was rolling. Confident. I did not expect that from him. I mean, because at first it took me 2 minutes, a couple minutes. I'm like, who the heck is pitching here?
Every
and I'm like, is that
pitch
Perez? And then, boom,
painting the corners on the outside. And they said yesterday he had what did they say yesterday? He had 18 first pitch strikes, which is crazy. I mean, that's 6 straight innings of first pitch strikes.
Yes.
You know? So that's crazy. So
yeah, no, I would definitely say he's definitely the leader on that for me too. You know, the one that I'm most excited about that has picked it up is Scope, because I mean he was, for me, we touched on him just a little bit. I mean he was just lights out for Baltimore for a few years.
he was fun, yeah.
And then he had some down years, and it just he batted.
Last year he was kind of a down year. He went from
244 the 85 games with Baltimore and 202 with Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And then 244 the year but he was batting 293 in 2017 with 32 home runs.
Yeah. That was his breakout year, and he's been really good. He's really underwhelming to start this season, but he's really like you said, really picked it up the last couple of weeks. So
so it's been great to see that. I want to see what he's been doing the last couple of weeks. Yeah, he's batting 325 over the last 2 weeks.
Wow, great.
In fact, that is the best. He's leading the team over the last 2 weeks in average.
I'm not surprised.
Yep. So that's been a huge thing there, and and I think what is a key thing too is that the whole lineup is producing.
Yes.
Yep.
Because over the last 2 weeks, Rosario and Polanco have been in a little bit of a slump.
Yep.
It's been was it Rosario with 0 for 24 at one point?
Something like that coming into this weekend, yeah.
Right, and the funny thing about him is a lot of these guys would get so down on themselves and they get so upset. I remember Christian Guzman went through like an 0 for 20 slump like 15 years ago, and he asked Gardenhire to sit him down because he didn't want to be out in the field. He's ashamed. Rosario said, "Put me out there every day. Bat me leadoff. I want as many bats as I can." That's what they said. That's what Roy Smelling said. And when he gets hits the ball super hard and it's a tough out, like a really good catch during that hitless streak, he just laughed and be like, "Are you kidding me?" Like keeps a good attitude, and that really shows the players seeing him out there doing that. Just really probably sparks the team as well. I mean, if you're hitting like that, he's still playing good defense.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he's batting over the last 2 weeks, batting 133.
Wow.
6 hits, 3 of them are home runs with 8 RBIs. So I mean, at least he's making his hits count.
Right.
Polanco batting 204 over the last 2 weeks, and and that's including his good night last night.
Yeah, both guys homered last night.
Yep.
Hopefully that's
and a double by
buster.
Polanco and.
Oh yeah, he got a couple hits. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 for 4 last night.
3 for 4, yeah, with a double and a bomb. Wow.
Yep. Yeah. So let's hope that that's the beginning of the of them coming out of their funk that they've had the last 2 weeks. But like I said, that's been the key, is that the entire team has been picking it up. I mean, even Castro has been batting solidly.
That's what I was going to say. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, I mean, it's 263 over the last 2 weeks, which isn't great.
For him, that's good.
But for him, that's
very good.
40 points over what he probably normally would.
And they say
3 home runs.
The supreme defensive catcher in baseball is probably Jason Castro. As far as not so much throwing guys out at second, but framing the pitches and blocking the balls. He's probably the best overall. Maybe Yadier Molina has something to say about that, but overall defensively, he's probably one of the best catchers in baseball. I mean, so the hitting is just a bonus for us, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let's see what else here. Where am I at? Garver's come back a little bit to the pack. He's batting 208 over the last 2 weeks. He's just over 300 now. So I mean, once again, we like I said, the whole team is picking it up. If the top half of the batting order is having an off game, the bottom half is picking it up. I mean, I've seen that's where Scope is. So and that's where Castro is. So I mean, I've looked and seen when I've haven't had a chance to watch the game. It's like halfway through the game, and I just flip on my phone and check out the box score, and I'm looking down the batting order, and I'm seeing Ofer for Kepler and Rosario and Polanco and Cruz like 1 for 4, and I'm like, but we're winning 5-1, and then I look down and
it's all other numbers. I know it's been crazy.
And there's some guys that have been hitting the whole year, but maybe 1 or 2 hits a game. That's Byron Buxton.
Yep.
He's not really had a slump. He's been getting 1 or 2 hits every game.
Yep.
At least one. Leads the league in doubles. I mean, he plays elite defense. So there's always that one guy that really can be a presence every day in your lineup. So it helps having him too.
Yeah, I mean, he's batting on the season 263, which is up for him.
It's respectable.
I'd like to see it up another 30 points.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
But I'm not going to be picky because he's not batting 200, which he had been not.
Or 163.
Yeah, and striking out like crazy. So that's definitely a plus right there. But we'll see. Obviously, we have Sano coming back here. I mean, we're doing all this without Sano. I mean, imagine if Sano pops in and starts.
I think that
understanding it like Buxton.
For a while, that's what we talked about too. Like, where do you put Sano in the lineup earlier in the season? Because when it was just like, well, okay, do we try to get him in a DH situation? But then it's like, well, then okay, we went and spent the money on Cruz for that. Well, and then another bat we've got coming back too isn't the catcher. Isn't he coming off back off the DL here like any soon. Day?
Right.
So I mean, and his bat was super hot before he got hurt. I mean, he was literally a hit a game, if not more. So I mean, it's just fun to see the bats finally alive on a team. It just seems like we've either always had bats and no pitching, or the other way around. And now it's like, we're kind of a little more even keel here this time. This might actually pan out decent. So,
right, and Sano would be a nice bonus for us to have. I mean, so the thing you think about now though is if Sano comes back, Astudillo comes back, then does Cave get option back down to the minors?
I'm guessing
probably, and then Adrianza is going to get designated for assignment because Marwin Gonzalez is going to play everywhere everywhere on the. So I think Adrianza is probably going to see his last couple weeks as a Twin here, which is kind of sad, but at the same time,
yeah, because he has no more options.
He has no options. Adrianza's out of options, so he'll get claimed in an instant. He will, but it's a good problem to have, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they can't cut Marwin.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Yeah, no, it's been fun watching that. So obviously, like you said, the catcher position, like you said, it's been fun to watch that. Like I said, with Castro, I mean, they're all hitting once again. We got 3 guys that are all doing well. I mean, it's a good problem to have.
Yep.
But it's like you kind of want them to stay in there and stay.
Right.
But everyone wants to have that kind of a bench to be able to keep that deep like that, but unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way.
You seldom see one catcher play back-to-back games, which is kind of funny. And then, mind you, Castro did leave the game last night, I saw.
Yep. Yeah, I did.
I don't know if he's in the lineup today or not, but maybe. I'm not sure.
No, he is not, actually.
So,
let's right elbow contusion.
Which could actually be a couple-day thing.
Yeah.
He should be okay. But
So Garver will catch here for the next several days, and let's see, what do they got an update here? Astudillo back. Well, this was back on May 1st, so I haven't had an update on there. I'm looking on my fantasy Yahoo, because you can break it down 2 weeks, and so it's kind of a fun way to be able to check out what's going on or to check out the stats. But yeah, excuse me, I didn't see any new news there on Astudillo at least. But I mean, yeah, I believe he was.
I just thought I had heard that he
said he was going to be running.
Well,
and that was August. And that was May 1st.
Quote unquote running, yeah.
And what a favorite! I mean, for fans. I mean, and the guy, he puts everything into it. I mean, it was over Easter weekend when they were playing in Baltimore, and that ball that he dove against the backstop, and it was just like, oh, this is gonna hurt, and he missed it, but he kind of slid into it, and it's just like, dude, you're crazy. But I mean, hey, I like the passion.
Yep. No, it was very interesting to watch it, or to watch him, and he has such a. You can tell he just has a blast.
Oh yeah,
and that's the thing, and that's why he's a fan favorite. He's he wears his emotion and his love of the game on his sleeve, and us fans see that, and we jump on that.
He was sorry, really quick.
No, go ahead.
Astudillo was put on the DL on the 27th, and he is expected to be back with the team when that expires. So. Next 2 days.
Okay.
I thought it was getting close.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so Jeremy was right on that one. Yeah.
So
and he will be on the team. When he comes back. So.
I wouldn't think that they would take a chance. I mean, with his way he was.
327 average, 340 on base percentage, 531 slugging.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be back in the lineup, and plus he's got that spark. He's fun, So fans love him.
Yeah, exactly. And so even with So even with Castro with a little bit of an injury, Garver should be able to handle. They got game today and tomorrow, then they're off Thursday.
Correct.
So I'm sure Essedy will be back by Friday, and Castro will probably be back by Friday also. That'd be my guess. Garver will have the next 2 games to catch, and but as overall, like we said we talked about the gauntlet of games. We had Baltimore in the middle to kind of just give us a little buffer in between the Houston games. But, we won 1 of 3 at Houston, but then we took 3 out of 4 when they came up here.
Yep.
I don't think any of us expected that.
No, I didn't.
And we did extremely well. I mean, of course, there was the 1-0 game. I mean, we held, other than that 11-0 loss, we held them to 4 runs in 3 games.
Right.
Yep.
The Houston Astros offense.
That's very impressive. Yep.
Powerhouse offense, yes.
Exactly. And then, then we went into New York. We didn't get swept, so I guess that's a positive for going to New York. So we won the 1 game.
You know what? When we go to New York and we win a game, I'm okay with that.
I'm happy
honestly.
too.
We some of the stats, I think it's we're 29-73 over the past so many
they
years.
had some stat on that. It was just retarded.
And you're
It was
like,
oh.
what?
Yeah, we're horrible in New York.
That's awful. Literally, no matter what regime is running the show, we pee down our leg when we play them.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Come on. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, 1 out of 3 in New York. As long as it ain't a sweep, I'm happy.
Yeah, no sweep. I mean, it'd be nice to get another win or whatever, but I'm not going to be upset and act like I didn't expect us to sweep the, come on. So
yeah, well, let's see. Well, that we had, because we had Gibson and Pinata going there, so they were I expected them to be the number 2 and number 3 pitchers for us, but they've kind of dropped down to the 4 and 5 pitchers for us since Perez and Odorizzi have stepped up. I mean, so who knows if Perez or Odorizzi would have went up against New York in Barrios there for that 3 game, we might have.
It would have been something. I think it might have been a different outcome. Yeah. So like they had said on the radio, and I've been hearing, they've been calling him Michael Pinata because he's been hitting around like a pinata.
Yeah.
He's been so bad. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
so
he started off so solid, and he's kind of
just been getting owned. He's getting drilled every start.
Yeah. No, I dropped him in fantasy a couple weeks ago.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. So let's take a quick look at the future here. What's going on for this week? So we got Toronto tonight and tomorrow. Then we got Detroit at home, including a doubleheader on Saturday, and then 1 game against the Angels before we record again next week. Angels under 500. Detroit is 5 games behind us. So it'd be nice if we could win 3 out of 4 out of those and push them back a couple more games.
Over gap.
Yep. We're still the second best in the Major League Baseball, the .636 percentage. I mean, it's I think it's. Yeah, I think overall for that, I think we should be pretty solid over the next week in games. I mean, if we continue to pitch and play like we have.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Toronto series we had, was it 2 weeks ago?
Oh, yeah, they dominated
when they
us.
took 3 out of 4 from us, and it was like a letdown because we had momentum going into that series.
Yeah.
Like, oh, never mind. So
that's I think that was pretty much right after that was our last episode talking about this, and we're kind of like,
right. Like what happened there? Yeah,
yep.
but we last night coming out and beating Toronto like that was nice. So I mean, really, let's just keep it rolling, man, and we can beat Detroit. I mean, they're a very well managed team, and Gardenhire's a good manager, and we never really seem to play the Angels that well, but we'll see how that goes too, I guess.
Yep, all of them home. So once we're done with Toronto tonight and tomorrow, or Tuesday and Wednesday, then it's all home against Detroit and Los Angeles. And then after that, so next week we'll be talking about the swing out to the West Coast. But that'll be interesting. This game's at Seattle. That's the next one. I think that'll be some interesting
I'll be watching
interesting
those.
matchups.
I'll be in bed by 10, so I'll be able to watch those games at all.
Yeah. So like we said, I think we've just been so starved for good baseball in Minnesota that we're just so happy, and it's like, but we're also Minnesota fans, so we're all hesitant,
cautiously optimistic.
So it'll be. It's like I said, I even feel bad talking as positively as we were to this episode, because it's like, okay, it's going to come back and bite us in the ass,
right?
Just what happens for Minnesota sports. So it's been great to watch. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of baseball, a lot of the Twins lately. it's just been fun, and I hope it continues. I hope it continues throughout the year. It'll also give us great episodes on here. So,
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yep, can't complain. So, I think we'll leave it up right there, you guys. Unless there's something else you want to talk about. No, cover
I
everything.
think that's about it.
Yeah. So, thank you, Tim. Thank you, Jeremy, for joining me.
No problem.
Thank you for everyone listening. Please hit the subscribe button if you want to continue hearing us. Hit the thumbs up button, and maybe also share it on Facebook or Twitter for some family and friends to take a listen also. So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week.